Tennessee has another player on Bruce Feldman's freaks list entering 2025. That player is Arion Carter. That's right. Arion Carter, returning Tennessee linebacker, is on Bruce Feldman's freak list. These are the 101 freak athletes that he comes out with each year. Carter came in really high, by the way, because Carter came in at number 12. And here's what Bruce Feldman wrote about Arion Carter. He said, quote, the 6'1", 235-pound junior had a breakout season in 2024, leading a stacked defense with 68 tackles to go with 6.5 tackles for a loss and 1 interception. The junior will linebacker, a team captain, is a more explosive athlete than most running backs. This offseason, Carter, a former 300-meter hurdler in high school, vertical jumped 40.3 inches. He's also hit 21.2 miles per hour on the GPS and benched press 325 pounds. Last year, Arion Carter, James Pierce was on the list. Now, I want to address something real quick because it's on the message board, and it is very true. Cam Seldon, the Virginia Tech wide receiver running back athlete type, is number 70. And Feldman writes, quote, he spent 2 seasons at Tennessee as a reserve running back returnman before coming back to his home state where he was once the top-ranked prospect in Virginia and won state titles in the 100-meter dash, 200-meter dash, and 4 times 100-meter relay. The 6'1.5", 210-pound Seldon is probably the fastest Hokie, having clocked 22.9 miles an hour this offseason. He also broad jumped 10.4 and vertical jumped 36 inches. For those who don't remember, Cam Seldon was a backup running back for Tennessee for a couple of years. I think he was a little bit limited in certain ways, and Tennessee had raw talent in Peyton Lewis and Dylan Sampson, so he hit the portal after 2024. But he did average 5 yards a carry when he was on the field last year, and he was a kick returner at times. I still don't think that's a big loss for Tennessee. So the real story, though, is Arion Carter. Remember, like I just told you guys, Arion Carter is on this list. James Pierce was on it last year. So I'm going to say this up front. Bank on it. Brought to you by Commercial Bank. Member FDIC, life made better. Bank on it. Arion Carter is going to turn himself into a more beloved draft prospect than James Pierce was last year. Another bank on it. Arion Carter will be the best player on Tennessee's defense by the end of this year. Arion Carter is Tennessee's best linebacker since Gerard Mayo. He will be Tennessee's first All-American linebacker since Kevin Burnett. He is a captain of this team as a junior. He is already a leader of this team. Now remember, guys, this is a young team, but the defense did have a lot of seniors on it, okay? Bryson Easton went to SEC Media Days. Andre Turrentine is a senior. There's multiple other seniors on this roster. Arion Carter, though, of all players, is the one that joined Easton at SEC Media Days. This guy is a smart player. He's an elite player. He's a hard worker. And he's got raw talent, and he's your typical in-state guy who just loves Tennessee, who is going to live up to every bit of hype that surrounds him. I firmly believe that. So bank on it. Brought to you by Commercial Bank. Member FDIC, life made better. Bank on it. Arion Carter will be a superstar for Tennessee this year for all the reasons I just named.
Commercial Bank is your neighborhood bank. What makes us different from other banks? We understand that every customer has unique opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. We don't expect you to fit into the same box as the next person or business. Whether it's purchasing a home, saving for your child's future, or planning for your next vacation, we're with you every step of the way to navigate life's big decisions. Commercial Bank. Life made better.
That's right. Bank on it. Arion Carter will be Tennessee's best player. Now, let me talk about a few of the reasons why. Arion Carter had a couple of things working against him last year that we don't talk about enough. Last year was his first full year starting. The first was he was a bit raw. He had a lot of raw athleticism, and he was great at stopping the run as a result of that. But he struggled a bit in coverage and he overplayed certain downs. That caused him major problems. So with that in mind, Arion Carter, on that alone, you would say there's some concern, but he was raw. I think he has mastered his abilities and coverage this all season. That's one of the underrated parts about his game, is that he's truly mastered his abilities and coverage. And I don't think we're talking enough about that. More importantly, he never had full 100% complimentary help at linebacker last year. The first half of the season, he had Keenan Peely, a very smart player, very good player, very reliable player, but who was coming off a season-ending injury from the year before and was likely never 100%, and then suffered another season-ending injury last year. The second half of the season, he had Jeremiah Thielander, who wasn't fully ready to start and was supposed to be the starter this year after another all-season, and was thrown into the role and was a little raw himself. Well, now Thielander has a lot of in-game experience and is now more experienced in season, ready to go this year. That's pressure taking off Arion Carter. Those two things should allow him to be super elite. Now, there are two things that also work against Arion Carter, to be fair. One, without Jermon McCoy 100% healthy, there is a legitimate concern that Arion Carter won't look as good and won't have as much help in coverage last year. And given the fact that he already struggled, even if he's better, he could even look worse, because a lockdown corner who takes away one side of the field, as McCoy did, is a big help. And with him hurt in September, likely not 100%, there are concerns there. Now, on the other side, whatever you think of James Pierce and whatever you think of, the defensive line unit as a whole last year, it was better as far as we know than this year's unit is, because there was more proven depth and James Pierce was a rare talent on the edge. That freed up Tim Banks to do a lot. That combined with Jermon McCoy taking away one side of the field, freed Tim Banks up to do a lot more creative things with the linebackers and made their lives a lot easier. So while Arion Carter has more help at linebacker, while he himself is more experienced, he has less help in the secondary. And I think he's going to have a little bit less help on the defensive line. So those two cancel each other out, but which ones outweigh the others? I think the benefits outweigh the negatives. There's still a chance Tennessee could be as good on the defensive line, particularly if Jordan Ross emerges or David Hobbs on the edge, and they find other defensive tackles who weren't as much of a part of the rotation last year become a part of the rotation this year. There's a huge possibility for that. There's also a possibility of maybe Ricky Gibson does emerge into the same quality of player Jermon McCoy was last year, at which point when Jermon McCoy comes back and is fully healthy and 100%, Tennessee will be even better in the secondary than they were last year. And at that point, Arion Carter could look amazing. That's what I think is going to happen. And as a result, I think Arion Carter will be an All-American this year. He is one of the best. And just to go to the message board, Derek Owen's right. Arion Carter can become an in-state Vol for Life all-time great this year. That is very, very true. And he brings up, who will forever remind me of the best recruiting push / win against Saban ever. Yeah, guys, you guys are forgetting this. Nick Saban wanted Arion Carter badly. He wanted Arion Carter really badly. He didn't get him. And that really stands out, okay, that he didn't land Arion Carter. Tennessee was able to get him. Arion Carter, for those who don't know, was from Smyrna, Tennessee, went to Smyrna High School. That is, many people are going to call me out because they're going to say that's part of the Nashville area, which is true. But I want to insist multiple times that I have never said that Nashville players don't pan out. I said they get a little bit overhyped. And also I said Murfreesboro players are underrated. Carter is actually more, even though technically he's in the Nashville metropolitan area, the Murfreesboro area actually gets a little bit more overlooked at times. So that's something worth bringing up. Simply put, I think Arion Carter is going to be a superstar for Tennessee, and him being on Bruce Feldman's freak list does speak a lot to where Tennessee is as a program. And I think that it speaks a lot to where Arion Carter is. And he wasn't just squeaking on it. It's 101 people. He got in at number 12. There's a lot of belief in Arion Carter being a superstar this year.